Hello, let me show you how we animated this video. Looks like it took forever to do, right? But what if I told you it only took me 15 minutes? Let me show you how. For this quick tutorial, I wanted to mainly focus on the setup and the animation of this product based on the video that you saw earlier. And for this model itself, shout out to Rolly for providing us with this really cool 3D model. You guys should check them out. We'll put their link in the description, but they have these really cool keyboard products that does insane stuff. So check them out. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to say a big thanks to Ryosuke. His tutorial and free add-on made this project possible. So please check out his channel and we'll link it in the description. So as for the setup, it's actually not that complicated. It's quite straightforward. So let me show you what we're trying to do here. So if I rotate this key, you kind of notice a few things. One, the key doesn't rotate all the way through, which is perfect. And two, when I do rotate it, a light turns on inside. So again, quite straightforward. Basically, to show you here, let me hide this glass panel you see, and you can see that I parented an area light inside of this key. So to kind of mimic that light that's glowing inside. And that's pretty much it. And on top of that, a very important thing is to name each of these keys accordingly. Now, I don't play the piano, so I wasn't familiar with what the notes are for each of the keys, but obviously you can just Google it. So that's what I did. So just make sure you can name it however you want here. So for me, I named it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But what's important is the suffix. So make sure that each key is named properly as like per their note. So here, for example, it's 5.E. The dot is very important. So, and then for example, this is 3.D, and this would be 1.C, and this would be 4.D sharp. So again, the suffix is very important. It's dot and then the note. So make sure to do that for each of your keys. So once we're done with all that setup and you've organized everything in your collection, we can actually start animating. Now, we didn't really do any manual animation, but instead we used a MIDI file to automatically animate it for us. Now, a MIDI file, or MIDI file, is kind of a file format that you can extract from audio or music tracks. Now, in our case, we actually got a music track from Rolly, and we had someone from Fiverr to help us out and extract a MIDI file from that. Now, it was just a couple of bucks, so it wasn't so expensive. And I'm sure there's a lot of tools online that could do that for you. So in our experience, it's not really that hard to get a MIDI file from audio tracks. So once you have a MIDI file, the next thing you want to do is download Audacity. So Audacity is also a free software, and we'll put the link in the description. And you can just import the MIDI file that you got like this, and you'll see the track. And if I play this, so these bars kind of represent each key that will play for you, right? You want to turn all of these off and just use one track. And the reason why you can't just use the MIDI file that you got, well, it depends, right? But in our case, when I tried using the MIDI file that I got from Fiverr into the MIDI importer, the plugin from Ryosuke, it didn't quite work. But when I re-exported it from Audacity, then it went smoothly. So once you have that, just simply export it as a MIDI file, and I already have it here. And then we're ready to use the add-on. Now for the add-on, again, we'll put the link in the description. It's pretty straightforward. So I already have it installed here. It's called the MIDI importer. There's a few steps that you just want to do. First, obviously, is we will locate the MIDI file that we had. Make sure it's the one we exported from Audacity. And now a few of the options kind of becomes available for us, right? So let me just clear everything here and start from scratch. And then now, again, I'm not quite familiar with octaves and how all of this works. I have some idea, but in my case, octave 4 worked for me. So octave 4 is the first set of keys on this side, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7, and then 8, basically 8. That's why I named it like this. So for this first set of keys, these first set of keys, right? So we'll do the animation for that first. So we'll do the track to piano because that's what's available here. And then we'll do octave 4 because that's what worked for me. And we will kind of set up a few things here. We want the axis to be X and the travel distance to be 4. And we want it in rotate and direction up. The speed, I just left it as is. Now, for the piano keys, now this is where the naming convention comes in handy. So all I have to do now, since I named all of this correctly and put them in their own collection, is I press on the collection and auto assign keys. And immediately it will assign everything accordingly. And after that, you just press on piano key animation. And immediately you should see it's already animating. Now, this side is animating as well because I didn't delete the keys there earlier, or the keyframes. But basically, that's all you have to do. Once you're done with that, go to track 5 and then click this and auto assign that set of keys, and then piano key animation, and then so on and so forth until you got a complete animating piano. And again, it's that simple, it's that straightforward. And yeah, that's it. And if there are other use case scenarios for this MIDI importer, if you want, go visit Ryosuke's channel. He explains it thoroughly. But for this case, for the video that you saw earlier, that's all we did, and added a few fancy camera animations, and that's it. So thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, or if you have any suggestions or any inputs, please comment down below.